Okay, everybody. Decided I'd do something a little bit different this time around for a video. I know a lot of people on the internet are talking about uh, same subject, so I thought I'd give everybody my take on it. And the reasoning behind it. This is essentially my 72-hour bag. You'll hear them called bug out bags, go bags, whatever else. For what it is for survival in case something goes wrong. Well, it sounds like a really, really heavy subject to talk about, but it always sounded like a good idea to me, and it became a really, really good idea when one of these Texas wildfires that we've been having lately came knocking on the doorstep of the city I live in. It basically ran unchecked through the countryside and ran up to our town pretty fast. And once it got near some roads where the firefighters could get equipment in to fight it, they were able to mount a defense to it and stop it. But running up onto your town, it makes you nervous, and so this was brought about because of that. This is one of the driest years we've had in a while. In Texas, most of the counties, all but I think a handful, have had fire and have been touched by wildfire. I think current running total is 2.5 million acres have been burned in Texas this season. So it's a different magnitude than what fire seasons have been previously. On top of that, I also live kind of near the southern edge of Tornado Alley. So I'm in Tornado Alley, but I'm near the southern edge of it. So those are the most prolific disasters, I guess, that you could imagine. And so thought it'd be a good idea to build one. I also be prone to do volunteer work, so if I had to go somewhere to volunteer for a disaster, this would go along with me to support me while assisting other people. So I'm not any kind of a volunteer fire or anything like that. I do ham radio, and so in case of the need for disaster for the need of communication in disaster zone, we might be asked to volunteer. So one of those sort of things. Anyways, let's get on with it real quick. This is not a backpacking or a backpacker sort of a pack. I'm not being a gram weenie about it. I'm not counting on having to ruck it any sort of distance. I'm not in shape to. I'll be very honest with you. I spend a lot of time behind a computer console as my profession, so I don't have a lot of opportunity to exercise. I have very weird work hours, so it's hard for me to get out and do any sort of outdoor activities. I wish I could, but I work a late night schedule right now. I can ruck this small distances as it stands, but I wouldn't walk out of my city with it. I wouldn't count on being able to, anyways. That may be something that improves later on, but this is the basics. Also, my oldest son is doing scouts, and so this will be handy for doing the camping. It's a multi-purpose bag. It's not just a survival bag. It's also a camping bag. I don't have the money or the space to have dedicated resources for either, so this is an all-in-one. First things first, this is a Molly, Army Surplus Molly pack that I have. It's got a Generation 4 frame on it. It's in the ACU camouflage, as you see. A lot of stuff is just right out of the stores. It's a little 3-man tent. It's not a backpacker's tent, it's just a 3-man tent. And I took it off a while ago, but I have these extra straps I've put on it with the buckles so that I can buckle that around the frame of the backpack and carry it up top. I've also done the same to my backpack here, and its compression set. It's just a store-bought backpack with an extra set of straps that have buckles on them, so I can strap it to the frame. Has its own little compression sack it came with. On the waist belt, here and here, I have canteen holders. This one's military surplus. I've got a stainless steel canteen cup in it, and some water purification tablets in the pouch there. Military canteen, and I also decided I'd try a Nalgene brand canteen, which my 3-year-old decided to fill up for me before I started filming all this. A little waterproof box here. It's got a lighter, fire steel, and some Vaseline soaked cotton balls for a quick fire starting kit. Nalgene bottle and an insulated carrier. I have an attachment that fits onto the Nalgene bottle so that I can make coffee with the Nalgene bottle while I'm out. And so if I do that and I heat up the water and I want to keep it hot, I got an insulated carrier to keep your coffee warm throughout the morning. A little luxury. I'll probably end up getting some more things for this, like extra Nalgene carriers, that sort of thing. On the outside of the pack, if you'll take a look right here, this is not standard MOLLE. I've got a sustainment pack here, got a sustainment pack here, and then I've got 2-liter water bladder. This water bladder can be removed. There are straps in it. You can put the straps onto it and then wear the bladder just as its own little pack, so you can dismount it from your main pack and take it with you and leave your pack somewhere else. Up first is our main pouch. We've got headgear, got a little boonie hat. And then I kind of went with the ACU camo thing since I kind of like it. I'm not necessarily trying to hide with anybody. Sort of a do-rag headband, bandana. It's ACU digital. Sometimes I get into places where I don't want the bill of the hat to be in the way, but I still want something on my head. Backpack, rain cover. Didn't really fit all that well, but may prove handy, or I'll figure out something else to do with it. May end up with the wife and her pack. This is a light cone. I got lots of lighting in here. This is my Maglite XL100. It's an LED light. It's a multi-mode that they have. It's pretty nice. But that light cone will fit on that. It'll also fit on standard mini mag lights. And give you an area effect light instead of just a spot. You can get these from, I got off of Amazon. It's made by Night Eyes. They make a lot of flashlight accessories. That light, by the way, is my standard carry light that I keep with me all the time because I'm always getting into something. Spare stuff sack. Got a couple of headlamps. Just some LED headlamps. I think I got those at Home Depot. bargain bin sort of thing. A couple of chemical lights and a LED. Basically imitation glow line. Bug repellent. Compass on a lanyard so that I can attach it and then take it loose as need be, so I can run that around straps or what have you if I need to. Keep it handy with me. As far as a medical kit, I do want to put one eventually on here, but for the moment, if I have a need for one, I'm probably going to go somewhere with this in one of my vehicles. In my vehicles, I keep first aid kits in there. And then, to kill the time, it's a set of playing cards. And these are actually kind of interesting. These are clear plastic playing cards. Kind of cool. I figured they're cool factor to them, and they also probably very water resistant. And that's my main pouch. And I got a sharpener in there. I didn't realize I took out that I got a knife sharpener. Now some of this may seem excessive. A lot of this unnecessary. Realize that this is not just for me. I'm a father of two, married father of two, so there's 4 people total. So essentially, I'm the pack mule. Everybody else is going to carry basic clothing, sleeping, maybe a little bit of food. I carry all that for myself, plus everything for everybody for basic living while we're out, if we're away from the house.